Now here is a more elaborate wall setting that I created for a bay window. And you can see the section of the wall, it was drawn as basically a shape. Same thing with the floor and the ceiling. And what I'll do is I'm going to lasso that line. I drew a series of lines to represent the corners of the wall. So it really is kind of easy for you to create a very nice room setting. Now I want to show you something else. I can start filling in my shapes and add color and texture. Now if I want to add some texture to the wall, what I'll do is I'll go to my second arrow, click away and highlight that wall again. And we do have in our swatch library, under our textures category, we do have some samples of wallpaper. So I'm just going to add this nice coffee wallpaper and show you what that looks like. And if I select the floor, I can go back to my wood category and put in a nice mahogany wood floor. There, I'll close my browser window and I want to show you something else. Now I have some chair molding and I may not want to have that wallpaper shown on both above and below the chair molding, so I'm going to draw a shape under the chair molding and fill that with a different color. And to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my normal design mode, which is my black arrow here at the top, and of course click away. Now I want to use one of my drawing tools, and I'm going to click on this polygon tool up in my top toolbar. I'll click on it and I can start to draw, and I'm just going to start clicking on my canvas and draw a basic shape. Now this shape that I'm going to be drawing is going to be inserted behind the molding, but I just want to use the molding as a general guideline. So I'm mimicking the shape of both the chair molding and that baseboard molding. And I can come to my top and I'll just double click and I finished drawing that shape. Now you can barely see it, but I'm going to fill it with some color. And to do that, I'll click on my properties bar here and I'll stick that box. And I want to click on my color button right here, and as you notice it turned to the default color of gray. Well, I'm going to use my eyedropper and maybe I'll pick up a lighter beige out of that wallpaper. There. Now that polygon shape is on top of everything because it was the last thing drawn on the canvas, and what I want to do is I want to order it down and order it behind the molding and also my wall lines. Now I'm going to use my order commands here at the top toolbar, and I'm going to click on this order command on the right, the move down icon, and watch what happens. I click, and in our last lesson on the order command we said sometimes you have to click multiple times to move that object into the exact position that you want. And you notice each time I click, you're going to see something. Now, my wall lines, those lines that I drew, the vertical lines, are still behind that polygon shape. So I'm going to continue to click until the lines are on top. And again, I'm clicking on this move down icon at the top of my toolbar. There! I want to point something out with the polygon tool that we just used. I'm going to click on that icon once again, and I'm just going to draw a random shape like this. And if I double click right here, notice that the shape filled in completely. It closed. The path got closed. And this may be a little bit hard to see. If you notice that the line was created in the last color that we used. So the last color that we used when we filled in our other polygon shape was beige. So when I created the line here for my polygon, it was also done in beige. And I can always make that a different color by clicking on my color palette, and I can make it something darker. So my palette opened up, and I think I'll just make it a nice red so you can see that a little bit easier. There, my polygon shape outline is red. Now, if I click on the polyline icon, I'm going to mimic that same shape that I did. And if I double click right here, notice one thing, it did not close. So that's basically the difference between your polygon tool and your polyline tool. The polygon tool will finish that last line and close. It will create a closed path. The polyline tool will not close, and you will have an open path. Now, just one more thing. If you highlight either your polygon or polyline and you go up to your points icon here in your top toolbar, you will notice that the handles change, and you can physically move those points to other positions. So this is really this is very helpful when you're drawing a room setting and you need special kinds of shapes for your walls or your molding. Just draw with your polygon tool and go into your edit points mode, and you can move those points all around and really custom design your room setting. And when you're done, just go back up to your top toolbar and go back to your normal scale icon, which is your default design mode. We have these other drawing shapes that we have in our toolbar that you can experiment with, but the one that I use a lot are the rectangle, the line, and both my polygon and polyline tools. I think you're going to find them very, very helpful when creating a room setting.